The grand tournament of the series is upon us as Season 2 comes to a close with the Pro Play Tour Invitational, where players will be playing for $25,000 in cash and prizes. Still not qualified? Last chance qualifiers will occur on day 1 of our 3-day event and will fire every 8 players, awarding a box in prizing and invites. Be ready to play a few, because LCQs are only $10. Saturday is day 1 of the main event with a top competitor playoff following on Sunday. Stick around for day 3, where we will have team events as well as a variety of side events. For more information, visit ppgeventmanagement.com and come play with the pros.
And top 16 is going to be Madolche versus Gladiator Beast. I don't even know what to say about this.
Time is a flat circle. I appreciate the temporal fusion that happened last night. I am very happy to be casting 2 decks that we could have been casting in 2014.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, the decks obviously have transformed in their play style, the cards available to them. But at the end of the day, one of the best arguments for Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that sometimes you're able to tune in, even in 2019, and see 2 decks you grew up with.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're not going to make you guys wait any longer. Let's go ahead and get to your top 16 feature match. Madolche versus Gladiator Beast. Oh boy, I'm excited.
I am exceptionally excited. I do think that it is unlikely we're going to see either player want to go first.
Yeah, it's so odd. Although the funny thing is I was talking with Alex about his deck, and he was actually okay with going either first or second, just because of the way the meta is shaping up. Now, against this particular, against Gladiator Beast, I don't know which one you're going to want to do, but it's going to be interesting for sure to see.
Definitely, I think that Alexander's Game 1 plan is helped very much by the presence of Orchest in the metagame. The ability to spend your first turn making something like a Madolche Teacher Glass Souffle instead of going for a huge OTK is fantastic. But of course, Yobani's deck doesn't really care about the graveyard even a little bit.
So it looks like Alex is going to be going first here, starting off with a Madolche Mageline, and that's going to go ahead and get the Petting Sessur.
So you've seen this combo several hundred times if you've ever played against Madolche. And of course, Madolche is in fact known for this combo. So we lead with an Angeli. We secondarily activate the effect of Petting Sessur. That's going to special summon a Pudding Cess from deck, and from there the majority of our plays are available.
So Yobani's going to go ahead and read the Petting Sessur here.
That's
Petting
fair.
Sessur is actually a card that is brand new, and this card is incredible. So if it's special summon, if you have no cards in the graveyard, you can special summon it from your hand, and then you're also able to, when it's special summon Madolche from your deck, which I can't believe the amount of cards in Madolche that just allow you to special summon from the deck for like no cost.
Yeah, absolutely. The target you're always getting is Pudding Cess, and then it switches its level to level 4. That means you're able to overlay for a Glass Souffle and extend your plays from there. I do like that Yobani read this card, I think expecting that it was going to be an old Madolche he was unfamiliar with. No, this was printed in 2018?
It was very recent, yes. Now, the thing is, when it comes to Madolche, Petting Sessur, is that you are locked into Madolche summons for the rest of the turn.
Oh, no.
Yes,
There's no good Madolche
Not
monsters.
at all, absolutely. So even though it's a very powerful effect, it's one of the few Madolche cards that actually has a restriction like this, so forcing you to lock into something like this. But now we're going to see another new Madolche card, Madolche Glass Souffle.
So Glass Souffle is incredible. You can detach a card to give it a Super Dreadnought Cannon Dora style effect, preventing it from being affected by cards. But more importantly, the free detach means that you're able to then activate the effect of Chocolate a la Mode, shuffling that monster back.
Yes, Chocolate a la Mode, you just overlay on top of any of your Madolche Xyz, and then Chocolate a la Mode's effect just allows you to shuffle a card back into the deck, which then triggers her second ability, which then allows you to special summon a Madolche from the deck. So again, just more special summoning. We're going to go for Madolche Angeli here, which is like a Lone Fire Blossom for the deck, so that you can tribute off Angeli, get your Madolche Hoot Cake, which Hoot Cake is kind of like Tour Guide in a way. It's like you banish a monster and get to, guess what, special summon a monster from your deck. You're noticing a pattern here.
Yeah. Thank goodness there's a restriction somewhere in this archetype. Next is my Husbando. We've got the Ticket Searcher. We lead with a Chateau because activating Chateau will trigger the effect of Chocolate a la Mode by shuffling back the remaining Madolche monster in the graveyard, in this case Angeli. Chocolate a la Mode is going to special a second copy of Messengelato. And he's confirming, yes, it's not once per turn.
Yes. Now, Message Gelato is a not once per turn effect, so that you're able to add any of your Madolche spells or traps from deck to hand. They typically only play 2. They play the Chateau, which is the deck's field spell, bolstering all the attack and defense of the Madolches by 500. And then also, if a Madolche would be shuffled into the deck, you can add it to your hand instead. And Madolche Ticket, which is the card you see underneath the column of Choco a la Mode and the Message Gelato on closest to the deck, which is a continuous spell. Allows you to also kind of do the same thing, add the cards back to your hand instead. But if you control a fairy, you can actually special summon those monsters to the field, which is a little bit crazy.
So annoying.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. And this new card, Madolche Fresh Sistart, protects your spells and traps. So your opponent's going to have multiple pieces of interaction to get through Ticket and the resource loop it enables.
Now you see Yobani picking up Madolche Sistart here. This is the Link monster. I believe this was from Link Vrains Pack 1.
In the OCG, I
In the
think.
OCG, yeah. So this
Here we got it in some side product, and wow. On release, people thought it was terrible.
It was one of the most underwhelming cards from that set, I would say. However, in Madolche, it's not bad. It gives you some link arrows, just bottom left, bottom right. But it also just allows you to basically protect your Madolche Chateau and Ticket from being destroyed, and also can protect itself from being destroyed as well.
This is one of those conditionally powerful cards, right? It doesn't actually have a very good effect. It protects your spells and traps and not much else, but it's a Madolche monster you can link out of, getting your Chocolate a la Mode off of the field on a turn when you're locked into the restriction from Petiting Saussure.
So now, Alexander ended on his board here with 2 back row and a Glass Souffle. Remember, Glass Souffle is a quick effect to go ahead and use its effect, which means Alexander's going to be able to shuffle back 2 of either his own or most notably his opponent's cards from the graveyard back into the deck. So it's like a pseudo DD Crow type of effect. But can be very effective, especially in this metagame dominated by Orcus, Salamangreat, different things like that, which is probably why he made it this far. Remember, he was 3rd after Swiss. He only dropped 1 game, I think, the entire weekend.
So Glass Souffle's ability to tuck cards from the graveyard back into the deck is extremely potent, as Simo said, versus Orcus, but it has some applications versus Gladiator Beast. Yobani's on copies of Darius and similar monsters that will be specialing from the graveyard, and those cards are very, very bad if they get shuffled back.
So here comes Yobani starting off with a main deck Pankratops.
Well, they came to play second, and
Yeah.
speaking of, is that a Mystic Mine in the opener?
I think it might be. This might be one of the reasons why Yobani has been able to, pick up and go this far. Again, like we said in our feature match from round 3 with Yobani, he did brick twice, and that was unfortunate, but he didn't drop a game the rest of the time. So I guess he had the curse of the stream there, but he's going to have the chance to redeem himself here.
So we have both lists in front of us, and Yobani's is chock full of these absolutely unfair cards that you're allowed to play if you are blinding second. He's got 2 copies of Evenly Matched. He's got 2 Mystic Mine. He's got Pankratops in the main. He came to go second, and it looks like it might pay off for him here, provided he can land the mine.
I think he also has an Instant Fusion as the middle card in his hand, it looks like.
Instant Fusion's okay here. You kind of have to eat the Glass Souffle, but the problem with Madolche is that none of these cards are particularly threatening. There's not like a big negator you have to get rid of. It's just a bunch of recursive monsters that enable you to special the monsters that are added back from your deck to your hand.
The most terrifying thing about going against Madolche is that they kind of have this tactic where they just set up all these cards that, again, they aren't very threatening, but then on the next turn you can just get OTK'd. But not while there's a Mystic Mine up.
It's frustrating to see something like Madolche Teacher Glass Souffle as the most scary card on the field, leave it up, and just end up getting Tiara Masood to infinity.
So we're going to see a Cosmic Cyclone in response to the Mystic Mine here. Very heads up that Alex happens to be main decking the Cosmic Cyclone. Something we still see every now and again.
Cosmic Cyclone's amazing right now.
Yeah.
It's able to get rid of Orcus Crescendo in a way that doesn't allow them to send a Kismek to the graveyard. It gets rid of all of the Sky Striker spells in a way that doesn't allow them to be reset.
Salamangreat Roar.
Salamangreat Roar, exactly. A significant amount of cards in the metagame either resist destruction or are part of a deck that has other cards like Dingirsu that resist destruction. Not a lot can beat banishing.
Yobani really taking his time to plan this out because, he's going to use the Pankratops.
Going for the set
Go
card,
for the set back row. Interesting.
The hand must be nuts.
That looked like an infinite impermanence.
Yeah, I'll check, but yes, Alexander Bastion is on both 3 infinite impermanence and 3 compulsory evacuation devices.
And 3 crackdown.
While he's aiming to go second, it looks like he has a sweet plan for going first.
So here comes Instant Fusion from Yobani. Both players now even at 7K. Let's see where this goes.
All right, 1,000 eyes.
I hear that card's okay.
It's all right. Speaking of 2 decks that are full of 2014 cards, it's nice to see a 2006 card getting representation.
Absolutely.
We're going to Glass Souffle here, shuffle a couple of cards back.
2006. I'm pretty sure 1,000 Eyes from 2003.
You are causing me to get arthritis on stream. I'm becoming a boomer as you speak.
So Glass Souffle is actually going to go ahead and use its effect. It's going to shuffle back. Looks like Alex is going to pick 2 of his own cards because his Glass Souffle is not long for this world. He's going to shuffle back his own Pudding Cess, which is, I believe, a 1-of in the deck.
Yes.
And his own Impermanence, actually, as well, which is interesting.
Pudding Cess is kind of critical to a significant amount of your plays. If you have a follow-up copy of Petiting Cesseur, it is absolutely dead unless you have Pudding Cess. He'll then trigger the effect in order to get himself a copy of Petiting Cesseur. And then, hey, I think there's a Pudding Cess back in the deck.
There is. So now we can go ahead and resummon that. Keep in mind that was resummoned off of the effective ticket because he controlled a fairy. So then the Petiting Cesseur triggered because it was special summoned. And then that brought out the Pudding Cess. That beautiful ultimate rare, by the way.
Look at how frustrated Yobani is. This is how I feel every single time I have to play against this deck. You mean my removal spell plus you?
You talk about Burning Abyss being floaty. Look at this.
Yeah.
Maybe as floaty as that Souffle.
I think when Burning Abyss was first made, it was extremely floaty. It had 3 Skarm, 3 Seer, 3 Graph, and I think the template they were going off of was Madolche's.
So that's a Gladiator Beast Equest from it looks like. It's a very shiny quest, but I believe Equest is the Gladiator Beast. All the Gladiator Beasts have effects when they battle or were attacked or were attacked. And a quest, I believe, is the one that if it at the end of the battle phase, you can actually add a Gladiator Beast card from your graveyard to your hand.
So good thing you got the Glass Souffle activation out of the way right now. Unfortunately, a quest is probably the worst Gladiator Beast in Yobani's deck. It does, however, enable a really sweet card.
And here comes Test Panther. So
Wow.
Test Panther is one of the reasons why Gladiator Beast has any modicum of compatibility right now. So why don't you go ahead and...
Yeah, sure. One of, if not the only. Test Panther's an incredible card. It has the ability to target a Gladiator Beast you control, shuffle it back into the deck, and tag out into a different Gladiator Beast whose effect is then treated as if it was summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster. It's a way to make it to the battle phase without ever having to make it to the battle phase.
Also, when it's Link Summon, you just get to add a Gladiator Beast card from your deck to your hand.
Hey, that's fun.
Yeah.
Now, there's a couple of Gladiator Beast cards that are inherent special summons, but they all rely on the battle phase. That's why we know that Yobani is playing a singular copy of, I believe, Vespasus. I hope I'm saying this correctly. However, I don't think that's going to be particularly good here. There aren't very many good attacks rather than just eating a couple 100 points of damage.
So it looks like he's going to go for...
he's thinking about it.
I was thinking about it. That was the Monster Reborn. Gladiator Beast has a Monster Reborn that is not a hard once per turn.
So Gladiator Beast Comeback.
Yes.
Not only reborns a monster from the graveyard, it also allows you to special one from the hand should you so desire. So it kind of unlocks the entire grip for Yobani. I can't imagine that that won't be the pick. If he picks something else, it probably means he's got one in the hand already. One of the things you see routinely in Yobani's, or decks like Yobani's, is a huge suite of the new Gladiator Beast spells and traps. He is, however, playing very few. Comeback is the only new spell he's got in the list outside of their Tribal Quick Play Fusion, Gladiator Beast United.
Yes. This is tough for Yobani. I mean, he only has a couple cards left in hand, and because he's gone through at this point, Pankratops, Mystic Mine, Instant Fusion, and a Quest. So he only has 2 cards left in hand. So
reading Augustus real quick. Ooh, Augustus specials from hand.
Yeah.
This could be a clue as to what's lurking in his grip.
Yeah, so he could go ahead, summon out the Augustus, and then... he's
going for the comeback.
Yeah, the comeback. That makes sense. So now here comes the comeback. Comeback also allows you to special summon from the hand.
We're going for a quest, it looks like. He's going to shuffle the deck. No, I'm going to go immediately back in.
Well, also considering that's his only target.
Yeah.
But again, he did bait out the Glass Souffle effect, so that did allow him to make this entire play. So
we're going to tag into Panther here, and I assume we're probably going to see Augustus here. It depends on what's in the hand, of course.
Ooh, he's going to go for a Torix. So a Torix is the deck's Foolish Burial. So do keep in mind that this monster is considered to have been special summoned after off the effect of a Gladiator Beast due to Test Panther's effect. So now he's able to go ahead and immediately just dump a Gladiator Beast card into the graveyard. A Torix is kind of like an extender. It looks like he's going to go ahead and send a
Bestiari.
Bestiari, yes. I was going to say Geyzar or something. That's the fusion.
Oh, not yet. Oh, a second comeback.
Second comeback.
Hit me with that non-OPT. Alexander reading it real quick just to confirm. Yeah, this card's busted.
Now, Bestiari, it does not have the ability to pop at the moment,
Hey,
but...
isn't Bestiari part of a particularly interesting contact fusion?
Oh, there's...
Well, that is just completely unfun.
So here's Utopia double.
Boo.
And so Utopia, what is Sistart's attack?
Sistart has 1,500 attack.
Ooh, okay. So this Utopia double should get to 10,000. Sistart is on 15. So is the game just over?
Unless Alexander has something super exciting, Utopia double is going to be able to attack for 8,000 points of damage. And Alex just laughing to himself. I can't believe this is how the game is ending.
And this might be how Yobani saw so much success, not necessarily building these massive boards that Gladiator Beast does have the ability to do, but maybe just going for Utopia double OTK as much as he can.
Oh, shoot. So Sistart, I think, is at 2,000 as the result of Chateau. This puts him to 10,000. He'll then activate the effect and attack again. And that's game one.
He took game number one. You know, yeah, that's pretty much it. But that, to be fair, now that he's aware of that information, he might be more cognizant to not leave Sistart out vulnerable if it's possible.
It's rough. I don't know how much you are. Looks like Yobani's going first. I don't know how much you are comfortable with stopping your combo with the Sistart play.
It's fair. Notably, Alex is not playing Ash Blossom in his deck.
No. Blind second, no hand traps. Seems good.
Pankratops and Gameciel being the quote-unquote hand traps, let's say. But they're not going to be doing anything, you know, during Yobani's turn.
Right. Of course, he came to play second. He's playing 0 hand traps, except for an infinite impermanence. But the slew of cards that make going second powerful, evenly matched Gameciel.
Fair. Impermanence is I hear that's a pretty good hand trap.
It's aight.
Looks like Yobani has a evenly matched in his hand, which isn't going to bode well for going first, which leads me to believe
Yobani thought he was going second.
Absolutely. So, again, you know, here's Alex with the mind games. Is he just going to set 2 and pass?
And again, Gladiator Beast does have the potential to set up huge combo boards, but usually that's because they're aided by something like a Rescue Rabbit, which Yobani isn't playing.
Now, if this is it, Yobani might be in trouble here. Now, it does depend on the cards. Okay, so Gladiator Beast, Proving Ground is the deck's reinforcement of the army. Not once per turn, by the way.
There's a good argument for this being the best deck to facilitate Utopia Double, just because it has a non-once per turn Monster Reborn that's tribal, and a non-once per turn Rhoda that's tribal.
Which, to be fair, that could be exactly what he's trying to do with this deck.
Yeah. It worked pretty well game one.
So he's going to pass. Now, plays back to Alex. Now, the thing is with Madolche, if there's a single copy of Madolche, that's an OTK.
Well,
with several shuffle cards back into the deck.
Angeli will do it.
Angeli is a pseudo copy of Madolche, essentially.
Now, Yobani's on 3 copies of Called. This is a fantastic time to flip it.
And there it is.
Hey.
Okay, so that's going to be a very crippling blow here.
All right. There are still plays.
There are. But this
Not
deck
all the time.
can have some reliance on its normal summon at times.
And if Yobani's given a battle phase, we may have a problem.
Ooh, that was enough to stop him.
It looks like he's not going to hold that Cosmic Cyclone, is he?
And there's a heavy Storm Duster for the back row. He's going to take out the Cosmic Cyclone. Yikes. Alex is... This is not good.
So he's sitting, but of course... Utopia Double can't attack directly. So we're not dead from that this turn. We might just get to see a Gladiator Beast pop off.
Flipping up the Bestiari.
This is a one-of in Yobani's deck, and he seems to keep drawing it. Bestiari, the bane of, I think, everyone's locals in, like, 2009, pops spells and traps when it's tagged into, makes Geyserus, which Yobani is still able to do and has done with a lot of frequency. However, he also makes Test Panther.
Fusion, yep. So Test Panther is definitely, if there's going to be an OTK this round, Test Panther will definitely be one of the reasons why that happens.
And we haven't used our normal summon yet, so we can do any singular monster at all is going to facilitate this.
So Yobani's going to drop down to 7k life points here from the instant fusion paying 1,000. So now we're going to see Test Panther. Test Panther also, remember, is going to add any Gladiator Beast card to his hand when it's link summoned. Imagine if that was in any archetype, like other than Glad Beast. If it just said, oh, search any card in your deck's archetype. Like, that's crazy.
Some sort of Sky Striker Engage, if you were. Oh, to chat saying you can play hand traps or you cannot play hand traps. Keep in mind that Alex And decks like Alex's routinely do play hand traps and use Hoot Cake as a combo starter. One of the fantastic parts about Madolche is that its lines are extremely varied. Its combos can start from almost any position with regards to monsters in the graveyard, and that type of flexibility is what allows a deck like this to make it into top 16s occasionally.
I just love to see these older decks, and then you just have like cards like Ash and Phantasme like in them now. It just seems it's so bizarre to see these includes like that. Oh, I love it.
Chat saying this man really picked up Bestiary to read it. To be fair, Bestiary was probably printed before he was born.
Most likely. A lot of people I talked to, just started playing YuGiOh within the past few years, and Gladiator Beast, I believe, came out in 2008.
And they have never been powerful for, I don't know, ever since the hits. The meta just completely eclipsed them, and I think Konami made the right decision in noticing that this is a fan-favorite archetype.
Well, it was one of the most powerful decks back in its day. I believe it won Worlds, I think, back in 2008 or 2009, if my memory serves. But
put some respect on Bestiary's name.
Yeah, and Bestiary was also on the limited list for quite some time as well.
Right, so that is Gladiator Beast Secutor.
Yes, so Secutor, when it's tagged out, allows Yobani to summon 2 monsters from the deck, and that can be that's a critical piece of the old school OTKs. Just because you're able to get out so much damage potentially, or it's just a good combo starter in general. So now we're going to see if we can tag out into here. He added a comeback off of the Test Panther, by the way, for anyone who missed it. That is the in-theme Monster Reborn that can also special summon from the hand.
There's Augustus.
So Augustus, when it's tagged into, which it now has been due to Test Panther's effect, allows Yobani to special summon a Gladiator Beast from the hand.
So we might actually get to see some of the cool combos. Another Bestiary. Wait, was I incorrect? Is he on 2? No, he is. He's on 3.
He's on 3, yeah. What were you reading?
They all look the same to me. Some Caesarian name.
So now we have Gyzaris.
The Scourge of 2007.
Here we go.
Do you remember when this card was about $300 a copy?
Yeah. I don't want to go back to those days.
Me neither. These are 2 incredibly powerful rogue decks that are also incidentally super expensive.
Yeah. I'm curious, actually, which one is more expensive between the 2.
Dolce.
Oh, because Choco a la Mode is like 35 US or something.
And plus, you brick more unless you play max rarity.
That's fair.
The Madolche's curse.
I 100% agree with that statement. Yobani's still trying to look for the line here. But if there is one, looking up Unicorn.
Oh.
That's interesting.
So are we seeing the Tamer editor here, or we're just making Unicorn?
Okay.
There must be something lurking in that hand of his.
There's
the
comeback can go into Gyzaris.
That's pretty good. But it's not an OTK.
It's not. It looks like they're going to battle here. So.
Wow, not an OTK.
Okay.
Shocking.
But he's going to be able to set up a pretty decent board, I feel, with this. So he's going to go 22 from the Unicorn, and then Gyzaris is...
Test your might.
Is it 24?
I think.
I'm going to say 24.
I'm going to Google this card.
Okay. I'm sure chat will correct me if I'm wrong regardless.
Chat, we all know that you're correct in every instance. What is Gyzaris? So Gyzaris, of course, at the end of the battle phase can tag out and summon 2 Gladiator Beasts from deck.
Yes.
And that's where things get crusty.
Yep, because now he can possibly go into Tamer Editor.
Yeah.
And then start setting up a board to prevent Alex from having any hope of coming back.
Tamer Editor is almost a Ritual Beast Tamer card.
It's
a contact fusion. And it enables cheating out all these extremely powerful fusions that have kind of been locked behind their terrible components for years.
Do we have a consensus on the result of Gyzaris' attack? Does my 2008 memory serve?
It is 24.
Oh, I'm good.
You're a genius.
Not as good as knowing DD Guide's attack. Shout-outs to Jeff. Okay.
Jeff not here, unfortunately. Didn't want to make the trip just to play Mystic Mind for 9 rounds.
So we're going to go ahead and tag into a quest as well as Augustus. A quest, since it's tagged out, can add a Gladiator Beast card back from the graveyard to the hand. He's going to add the comeback. That is really strong. That basically just turns a quest into an extender. And so now, is Augustus a hard once per turn?
I don't think it is. But, of course, he's only got one card in hand.
Augustus did come out a bit later than the other Gladiator beast, so in my head, there could be the chance that it is once per turn.
It is not a once per turn.
Wow.
The reason he's gone into it is because Tamer Editor needs a 5 or higher material.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Or maybe he's passing. What?
Interesting.
Did I miss something?
And there's an interrupted Kaiju Slumber on Alex's side.
Well, okay. Alex says, are you going to allow me to resolve this? If so, I'm going to blow up your board. He says yes, okay. Fine. All right. Enjoy your Gamciel. I'm going to take a Jizikuri.
Gameciel goes to Yobani's side.
Well, he'd have to board in the Jizikuri, so let's see if he did.
Yeah, I imagine Jizikuri is going to come in here. Yeah. Yep, that big 3,300 body.
The Star Destroyer.
Now, there's no back row this time. So, again, if Alex has a Mageline, Angeli will do it.
No longer locked by Calden.
So, if Yobani does not have a hand trap, Alex actually has this game.
So he's thinking real quickly.
Okay.
Is Petiting Cessor a post-lock?
Petiting Cessor is, yes, once after you use the effect, I believe. For the rest of this turn, I believe is the wording. So the Petiting Cessor, since it was special summon, he can then special summon from the deck. And he's going to special summon the Pudding Cess from the hand. Yes, Petiting Cessor can also special summon from the hand, not just the deck. So if you get the Pudding Cess in hand, you have a way to easily go for it. He's going to immediately overlay into the rank 4 Queen Tiramisu.
Oh, wait, we're not even playing around. This individual is like, we're not doing combos. I'm not going to lose to your silly cards again. We are going to immediately spin your monsters and try to OTK.
Now, for anyone wondering, the Petting Cessor reduces the level of the Pudding Cess by 1, so it makes it a level 4, and that's how he's able to make that rank 4 Xyz play. He's going straight into Choco a la mode.
And with 1 in graveyard.
He can just go ahead, use it, shuffle that back into the deck. That will trigger the Choco a la mode to then detach a material and special summon a Madolche from the deck. He has 3,300 with Jizukiryu. I believe Madolche Choco a la mode is 26.
And it really doesn't matter.
No.
The couple of copies of, what's his name? Messengelato are going to boost all of these to very, very high attack values. And
yeah.
That'll be more than enough to deal with Yobani's remaining life points.
Alex should have more than enough damage to clean this up. Not fearing Nibiru in the slightest, I should say.
Yeah, I don't understand. Chat, you're going to have to fill me in, but wasn't that a viable Tamer Editor play?
Hashtag PPG YuGiOh Nibiru. If you are subbed, to go ahead and drop those Nibiru emotes. But Yobani's seen enough. We're going to game number 3. I am shocked.
Unicorn only has 1 down arrow.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
He was checking the extra deck not to see what the highest damage would be, but to see what the best arrows would be. And since we have his extra deck, we can inform you that he actually doesn't have very many good arrowed monsters. There's nothing lurking in the extra Landphalinkus that would enable a Tamer Editor play. Instead, he's hoping to do it while Test Panther with the 2 down arrows is out.
I think this just kind of further solidifies our point that he's not going for a heavy combo build, but more so just trying to go for this OTK-oriented build. Oh,
for sure. I think all of the profiles on YouTube, the ones you see, are Rescue Rabbit combos, and he is happy to just let Alexander go first and go to battle phase.
Wow, and Alexander just setting 3 and passing. That's a bit unfortunate, but with the side decks in play now, that could maybe be enough to kind of stave off Yobani's advance here. Let's see. So there's a Gladiator Beast Darius. For anyone wondering, that when it gets tagged out is a Monster Reborn.
So if you're Alex, I think you're actually pretty secure in this position. You see 3 set cards from the OTK deck, and you think, oh, he's bricked. But out of the board, Alex is on evenly matched, of course, which is unlikely to be there, but compulses, crackdowns, infinite impermanences. I mean, any of these could stop Yobani in his tracks. Imagine if he goes into Test Panther just to eat an impermanence. Imagine if he tries to tag out a monster and it eats a compulse. Crackdown at any stage in the combo just puts a stop to it. Those are very, very easy ways that Alex could walk away with this, provided his next move is normal summon Mangeline.
So Darius went in and attacked in the battle phase, and we're doing a OG tag out here.
Dang.
Now we're going to bring up Bestiari. Bestiari will then be able to pop one of these back row here.
And he's rolling for it.
He's going to go ahead and pick that one on the far right from Alex's perspective. Hits a super polymerization.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Okay. I don't know how effective Super Poly is against Gladiator Beast, though.
Well, Alex has a Geyserus in his extra. That's not true.
I was about to say, are you serious?
No.
Activating Mystic Mine.
on his own monster. Wow. Well, I mean, that's not a terrible idea. What's Alex going to do? If he normal summons a monster, he's susceptible to Utopia Double. He could play as if his opponent is under Mystic Mine, and it looks like that's what he's comfortable doing.
Is the issue, though, is Yobani's hand that weak, or was he just that scared of getting OTK'd that he preemptive mined?
I think he is that scared of being OTK'd. And for what it's worth, after last game, I think that's understandable.
That's fair.
Imagine putting yourself under Mystic Mine. But it's not a terrible decision when there's 6 minutes left in the game. Your opponent's going to have to take 1,000 in order to activate Cosmic Cyclone. We don't know if they still have the Cyclones. They probably weren't expecting you to keep mine in Game 3. If you don't have an out, you might just have this one locked up.
And it's interesting, too, because it's like Alex is in this weird position because he has to, like,
crack down the Bestiary. That's incredible. And then at end phase, that'll proc the effect of Mystic Mine, sending it to the graveyard. Alex is out.
Now, I don't think that Yobani expected Crackdown to be one of the outs here.
Ooh, Messengelato.
Okay.
That is not a great one.
And so there's Chateau.
Messengelato with no activation. Well, of course, it wasn't summoned by the effect of a Madolche monster, but just a 2,000 beater is probably not where Alex wants to be, especially if Yobani just has a follow-up Mystic Mine.
So now Messengelato is going to declare an attack on the set Gladiator Beast, another copy of Bestiary.
Dang. We really are about to make Geysers here.
And play is going to get passed back. Doesn't look like either player opened particularly well here, but I think the game's in Alex's favor at this point, considering he's got all these very interactive cards in his back row.
Well, I think the Mystic Mine activation telegraphs it's possible he's got a second one. If that's the case, then Alex is completely dead.
Fair enough. Now we see Pankratops coming down from Yobani, so that's actually a pretty solid start here.
It's fine, but those cards are just going to end up back in the hand. Chateau's an incredibly powerful card. Ticket's an incredibly powerful card, and it looks like we're going for a Test Panther activation. I would be wary about extending this far into a combo when your opponent has 3 set cards.
So Monster Reborn on the Bestiary. Keep in mind that was not special summon due to tag out, so we can't pop any back row. Now we get a comeback.
So comeback can go from the hand as well, and there is one in the hand. Just going to read it real quick. Alex, you got to read really quick. You're almost out of time here.
They have 4 minutes. I'd say they're okay on time, but Alex is definitely down, so he doesn't want to waste too much time if he doesn't have to. And to be fair, neither of these players I don't think were expecting to play one another in the top 16 of Pro Play Tour Dallas. If I just had to,
I don't think any of these players were ever expecting to play each other at top tables. So we're going to Infinite Impermanence this Bestiary before it has the ability to tag out.
Interesting. Okay, and the Bestiary is going to attack over the other, his own Bestiary that was stolen by Crackdown. And now we're going to see Pankratops maybe come in here, attack over the Messengelato, which is then just going to go back to his hand. I believe Messengelato is at 2K right now.
So he takes a hot 600.
And so because Chateau, Messengelato will go back to the hand because it would be shuffled back into the deck.
If he goes into Test Panther, I think that is like the only scenario in which he loses the game that does not require Alexander to resolve several pieces of interaction through a Pankratops.
He's just going to pass. He's got this Pankratops.
Is that a called? Oh, man, that's incredible here.
So using Infinite Impermanence on this copy of Bestiary here to forcibly lock down the back row that's in the same column that Yobani has.
And
I like that.
Is. See, if that set card is a called by the grave, he is going to look so smart.
So Angeli getting tributed off here.
And there's the Ash Blossom.
But a call by the grave. Wow.
All right, so the unfortunate part is if that card in hand isn't called, as I think we saw, he is going to have to play through Pankratops, which is very, very hard for this deck.
Now, again, we have perfect information, so it's a little bit difficult for us to say this. But if you saw him doing a heads-up play, like preemptively impermanenting to lock down that back row, would you just shotgun the Pankratops?
Right here?
To get rid of the called so your Ash can resolve. Granted, you don't know what's called.
If I don't know the set card, I'm not Pankratops.
Fair enough. He can still Pankratops at any point throughout the combo. However, I don't know if that's going to be enough to stop it.
So this is about the last part where it's defensible to activate Pankratops. Afterwards, he's going to be able to chain the effect of Glass Souffle, or he can just immediately overlay for Chocolate a la mode, and then we have a whole second set of problems. I think we're likely to see the Pankratops activation here.
That's what I was going to say next, and it looks like we're going to. It's going to pop the Pudding Cess.
And
goes back to the hand. Thanks to Chateau.
All right, we're thinking real quick. Have we performed a normal summon? I don't think we have.
He summoned Angeli.
Oh, dang it.
So Petting Cestor attacked over the Bestiary. That one I'm going to need some help on.
Okay, so
I think Bestiary is 14.
Bestiary is 14.
And then Petting Sessur is getting boosted by 5, whatever it's at.
I want to say 1,000, but don't quote me on that. Chat, don't quote me on that.
And Pankrotop's really holding its own weight. Here comes Gladiator Beast comeback now. Going to summon Augustus from the hand.
Petting Sessur is 14 to 19.
Okay, so 19 minus, so he's going to take 5 from that then.
Still pretty far off lethal. Augustus is just a beater.
So Augustus is going to attack over Petting Sessur now, which can't be destroyed by battle, by the way, because it was summoned off Angeli. Augustus's attack is...
Augustus is a 2,600.
26,
so that'll be
7. So 700.
We'll tag out here. There are a whole bunch of cards that would really pop off.
A quest
is one of them.
A quest is good because then you can go ahead and get back your Gladiator Beast comeback with its effect. That just allows you to extend a little bit further. You can go into a Test Panther.
And that looks like it's going to be it. Oh, my gosh.
Was that time?
I think Alexander recognizing that he had no way to make it through the last minute of the game and do that much damage. His hand was effectively bricks from that point, and wow.
That's crazy. So Gladiator Beasts are going to advance into top 8.
What a heartbreaker. Obviously, either of these decks advancing is fantastic, and I will love to cast them again. Hopefully later in the tournament, we'll probably give both of these players a break. But wow, Madolche just not finding the necessary components game 3.
Yeah, that was, I mean, that could have gone either way,
yeah,
right?
Sure.
I mean,